Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Ole Gunnar Solsjaer needs to free Donny van der Beek and Axel Tunazebe. Now, Donny van der Beek has not yet made his full debut for the football club. But I think he has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. We got Donny van der Beek in a deal worth around £40 million from Ajax. He signed a 5-year contract with the football club with an option of a further year, and he currently wears that number 34 shirt. Now, Solskjaer was talking about Donny van der Beek's lack of playing time before our game against Chelsea. And he says that Donny van der Beek will get his chances. You know, he needs to settle in and he needs to adapt. And I think Solskjaer's considering what would be his best position. Now, I think he can play in like 3 different roles, but he's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. And Donny van der Beek didn't play any part in the Chelsea game. Axel Tunazebe, I wanted him to start against Chelsea. He deserved another chance because he was very, very good against Paris Saint-Germain. That game against Paris Saint-Germain was Axel Tuanzebe's first appearance for the club in 10 months. He's had quite a few injuries as Axel Tuanzebe. That's why his appearances have been limited. Now, Solsjaer was saying before the Chelsea game that he's challenging Axel Tuanzebe to add consistency to ensure that he has a long career with Manchester United, but Solskjaer's obviously hopeful that he remains injury-free. And, you know, he should have played in the Chelsea game. And Solskjaer's decision-making is very, very poor because in a lot of his games at Manchester United, he's been very tactically naive. In some games, though, he has showed tactical flexibility. Alex Telles, he didn't play any part in the Chelsea game, and I'm surprised because I would have thought he would have made his Premier League debut. Alex Telles was very, very impressive on his debut against PSG, and we expect to see more from Alex Telles. I'm also surprised that Mason Greenwood didn't start against Chelsea, but obviously came on in the game. I'm also surprised that Solskjaer selected Daniel James. Daniel James shouldn't have started against Chelsea. Yet again, Paul Pogba was benched. Anyway, I want to delve into some news on Paul Pogba. So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made a Paul Pogba admission. And he says he came back too soon from coronavirus. Was it back in August? Paul Pogba got tested positive for coronavirus. Now, Paul Pogba has started on the bench in our last 3 games. Now, I'm expecting Paul Pogba to leave the football club next summer. Paul Ince, he's actually urged Manchester United to offload him. Don't forget, a few weeks ago, Paul Pogba made an admission saying that one day his dream is to play for Real Madrid. Last year, Paul Pogba was talking a lot about Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane, and he basically said that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he's seeking for a new challenge. Mundo Deportivo said the other week that Barcelona were interested in signing him, and there's obviously been narratives of him going back to Juventus. Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus, but the vast majority of his performances at Man United have been totally comparison to his ones at Juventus. Don't forget, Manchester United have rejected a new deal for Paul Pogba. We have warned Paul Pogba that we will not break our wage structure to keep him at Manchester United. So we're not willing to pay him what, we paid Alexis Sanchez. The other week, we triggered that 1-year extension on Pogba's contract, so that keeps him at the football club until June 2022. This was also confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Paul Pogba's on around 290 grand a week on his current contract, but I think we said we're still willing to give him a pay rise. Before the start of the season, Pogba's agent Mini Raiola came out and said that Pogba wants to stay this summer and he will hold talks over a new long-term contract. At the turn of the year, we was critical of Mini Raiola. Main explanation is because he publicly criticised Solsjaer and Man United. Now, this season is Pogba's 5th season at the football club since he rejoined from Juventus. He has made over 100 appearances for us in all competitions. He's won 2 trophies with us. That was the Europa League and the League Cup. He also enjoyed a difficult time under the Mourinho era, but I think all our top players did. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. He sustained a few injuries in his Man United career. For the vast majority of last season, he had that ankle injury, so didn't really have a perception on him. So he hasn't enjoyed the best of starts to this season, has he? We can cash in for him though, like I said, next summer. We'll probably get from between 60 to 70 million pounds. We'll find it hard to get, more than the 89 million pounds that we paid for him. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing. So that's the news on that. Now, we've played 5 league games this season. We've obviously won 2, we've lost 2, and we've drawn 1. And we are sitting 15th in the Premier League, so we are near the relegation zone. We have not yet won at home this season. We've played 3 league games at home. We've registered 1 point from 9. And our home form is an element of concern. Solsjaer was saying prior to the Chelsea game, we've got to address our home form. Our away form's been very, very good. We haven't lost any away game in any competition since January. Obviously, there's a lot of Manchester United fans that are demanding Ole Gunnar Solsjaer out of the football club. There's still probably some Manchester United fans saying that he does deserve more time. Not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer, does it? Obviously, he's to blame for the selections and that. Like I said to you, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure to work out. I really, really do, because I like him a lot. He's a club legend. He was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance, but he hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager. Obviously, Manchester United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. But reflecting now on he's been at the club now, he has gained managerial experience. Obviously, them 2 wins against Newcastle and PSG eased a lot of pressure off Solskjaer, because before them 2 games, Solskjaer was very close to getting sacked by the football club. And obviously there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in, and obviously, it says we was looking at Massimiliano Allegri as an alternative. Like I said to you recently, Solskjaer is in the exact same position as what he was in at the first part of last season, because at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, didn't we? But yeah, tough games are coming up for Manchester United, and games are coming up thick and fast. We've got RP Leipzig on. Is it Wednesday? We've got RP Leipzig. That's going to be a tough game because they're last season's Champions League semi-finalists. Then obviously our next league game's Arsenal. That's another tough game. Then obviously Istanbul, Başakşehir, then Everton. All tough games for Manchester United. Solskjaer's got a contract with the football club until 2022, but the way things are going at the moment, I can't see him seeing out his contract. If we did sack Ole Gunnar Solsjaer, I think it'd cost the club around £4 million. That's totally contrast, though, to the 18 million that we paid to get rid of Jose Mourinho. Solskjaer's managed nearly 100 games, or has he managed 100 games now as Man United manager? He's won over 50 games as Manchester United manager. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager in January, obviously he does need backing. And Ed Woodward did recently say that he's backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in a lengthy statement. I think it's reflecting on our latest financial results. Don't forget last season we lost around £70 million in revenue because of the coronavirus pandemic. It also recently said that our revenue had fallen by 20%. And we paid around 20 million in dividends to the Glazers family. So the Glazers have taken more money out of the club. But we've been very, very critical of the board for several years, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been, and we've also overpaid for players and all of that. None of our managers have been backed enough since Ferguson retired. Moyes wasn't backed enough. Van Gaal wasn't backed enough. Jose Mourinho wasn't backed enough. Solskjaer hasn't been backed enough. In the summer transfer window, we missed out on all of his priority targets, and we missed out on a lot of targets in general. We missed out on the likes of Jadon Sancho, missed out on Jude Bellingham, missed out on Jack Grealish, missed out on Reguilon, missed out on Gareth Bale, missed out on Thiago, missed out on Erling Haaland back in January. I said it was a shame we missed out on Erling Haaland because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. Wouldn't he? But yeah, a lot of United fans are demanding the board out. Woodward's been at the club since 2012 and the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. So Woodward's been with us around 8 years or so and the Glazers have been with us around 15 years or so. Gotta say, probably the Glazers are the biggest culprits, taking money out of the club. Obviously, they recommended Woodward in. They also recommended Matt Judge in. He's accountable for some of the failure of transfers. Matt Judge has been at the football club now for around 7 seasons, something like that, and he has been a transfer negotiator since 2016. Next year, Manchester United will be looking to make a couple of more signings. We definitely need a centre-half. We need someone to go alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. We'll be also looking to offload more players. I think next year we'll offload Lingard because Lingard doesn't get in the team now. I think we'll offload Rojo. There's been rumours about Rojo now going to Sheffield United on loan. Rojo hasn't really established himself as a first-team regular since he came in from Sporting Lisbon. Rojo was out on loan with Estudiantes last season. His current contract with us expires next year. Phil Jones will offload him. I heard recently West Ham were in for him. Sergio Romero, he'll leave the club because obviously now he's our third choice goalkeeper. Daniel James, I think we'll probably loan him out, to be honest with you. Brandon Williams, we could also loan him out. Following the arrival of Alex Telles, he's going to now find game time difficult. I think maybe Lindelof could be offloaded. I don't think he's good enough. He's improved recently, but he's obviously not a world-class centre-half. Could we possibly offload Bay? I like Eric Bay a lot. He's just too injury-prone. He's out for 3 to 4 weeks now with a muscle injury. Solskjaer confirmed that. Paul Pogba, like I said, he's expected to leave next summer. Matic, he could leave next year because Matic has obviously lost his place in the team. Mata, he could also leave the football club next year. Possibly De Gea could. And De Gea, to be fair though, has rejuvenated himself recently. He will remain our number one for this season, won't he? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got appointed in as Manchester United manager in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. and he's been permanent Man United boss since March 2019, and he's been at the club now for almost 2 years. Since he got appointed in, he's spent over £200 million on players. We've also seen a lot of players depart the football club since he got recommended in. I also like the way that Solsjaer's promoted the youth. Our record against the top six sides has been pretty impressive since he came in, and we've had some good periods under the Solsjaer era. Was it the second part of last season? Went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions, went on a 14-game unbeaten run in the Premier League. Solskjaer won like his first 8 or 9 games as temporary boss. So these positives to take. There really, really is. This is his second full season at Manchester United. And I said to you at the start of this season, this was going to be a big season for Solskjaer. I always said he needed another season, didn't I? Because it's been a transition period. And I said what would represent a good season for Man United, and that would be to finish in the top 4 and win a trophy. It's very imperative that we win a trophy because a club of our size wants to be winning trophies, and we have not yet won a trophy under Solskjaer, and we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years. And I also said to you at the start of this season, there's players that have got to step up to the plate because there's players at Manchester United that have been underperforming, isn't there? Solskjaer, to be fair though, did well in his first full season. Got us qualification for the Champions League. Also got us third and guided us to 3 semi-finals, didn't he? I think it'd be very beneficial if Manchester United could get a director of footballing because that's one of the structural changes that we need at the club. I gave you the news regarding director of football recently, didn't I? It says we've made our decision on who we're going to hire in, and we're interested in Luis Campos, who's the Lille director. He's a former Monaco director, and I think he was being scouted at Real Madrid and all of that. Don't really know much about him. They're only the bits I know about him, like I've just said. There's been a few former Manchester United players, though, linked with that director's role. We've been in the process of trying to get one in since, the Jose Mourinho era. Woodward has said quite a few times, he wants Man United to obviously, bring one in. In the last 7 years, or so, we have been playing catch up. We've only won 4 trophies in the last 7 years. That was the FA Cup under Van Gaal, the Europa League, League Cup and Community Shield under Mourinho. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. We've obviously had different managers with different philosophies. We've spent close to the £1 billion range on players. We've recruited over 30 odd players in since the Sir Alex Ferguson era, haven't we? Yeah, we've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we have been so inconsistent, isn't it? There's good players at Manchester United, like I said, Rashford, very, very good player. Rashford was one of our best players against Chelsea recently. He had 2 good chances in the game, unlucky not to get his name on the score sheet. Rashford has been part of the club for several years, hasn't he? He's nearly 23 now, and he's been United player since the age of 7. So he's been at the club now over 15 years or so. Rashford had an ankle injury before the start of the season. He also had a back injury when he was out for a few months. That was last season, wasn't it? I like Anthony Martial. He hasn't enjoyed the best of starts to this season, but I thought last season very, very good. And he was also good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era, Anthony Martial. He's enjoyed around 5 years or so at the football club. Anthony Martial didn't play against Chelsea because obviously he's suspended because he got sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. He's only got 1 game now to serve in the league, so he'll miss the Arsenal game. Then he'll be available for the Everton game, won't he? Mason Greenwood's impressed me. He broke into the first team last season. This season's his second season in the senior squad. Mason Greenwood didn't start against Chelsea but came on. I think he came on a bit too late to say if he made an impact. Missed our last 2 games prior to the Chelsea game though, didn't he? Solsjaer recently defended Mason Greenwood and blasts our ex-players for criticising him. He also mentioned that the English media are starting to go after Mason Greenwood, and we had a few issues with him before the start of the season. He was getting dropped from the England squad a couple of times, wasn't he? He got confirmed at the start of the season. He's our number 11. He's the 4th Manchester United player to wear the number 11. I like Brandon Williams a lot. I do. Obviously, he isn't getting his chances now. Last season, got a lot of chances. Confirmed at the start of the season that we'd give him the number, 33 shirt, if I can remember rightly. Yes, it was. First player to wear that shirt number since Paddy McNair. Williams did play in the under-23s though recently, didn't he? Marcus Rojo also played in the under-23s. So too did Facundo Pellistri. That was Facundo Pellistri's first appearance for Manchester United. Solskjaer sees him as more of the future. We got Facundo Pellistri for £9 million from Pennyroyal, and he signed a 5-year contract with us, didn't he, with an option of a further year. I think Bruno Fernandes is also very, very good. He weren't so good yesterday against Chelsea. He looked dangerous on the ball, but I thought it was pretty quiet. One of the quietest games he's had as a Manchester United player, to be honest with you. But, you know, Bruno Fernandes still made the difference in the team. He's won, Premier League Player of the Month 3 times. He won some Buzzy Player of the Year award, didn't he? The vast majority of his goals have come from the penalty spot. Yeah, and he's been at the club around 9 months now. When Bruno Fernandes signed, I think he signed a 5-year deal with Manchester United. Don't forget the other week, he denied that he had a bust-up with Solsjaer. I also like Juan Mata a lot. I think he's a very, very good player. Like I said, I'm surprised he started yesterday against Chelsea. I said he probably would be involved, but I didn't expect Juan Mata to start that game. I really, really didn't. But he was reuniting with his former club. Pretty quiet yesterday, to be honest with you, against Chelsea, Juan Mata. But he still had some good games this season. You know, he did well in both of our Carabao Cup games against Luton and Brighton. Also did well in the 4-1 win against Newcastle. Juan Mata's endured around 6 years with Manchester United. He scored 50 goals in 258 appearances in all competitions. And we paid just under £40 million for him from Chelsea back in 2014. The other week, Juan Mata rejected an £18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia because he said he wants to stay at Manchester United. But doesn't get in our team now regularly, like I mentioned. Fred and McTominay, pretty good. They're not world class. Don't forget, Fred and McTominay have started our last 3 games, haven't they? Fred has improved under the Solskjaer era. Like I said, I thought Fred was a world-class player though when he was at Shakhtar Donetsk. McTominay, I know I've been critical of him before, but I've got to give him credit recently, you know, the way that he's performed. McTominay can break up the play very, very well, and sometimes, you know, he can keep the ball very, very well, but there's other times where he looks too passive, he looks a bit nervous on the ball. Just after the first lockdown, McTominay signed a 5-year deal with the football club, didn't he? You know, I think that Wan-Bissaka is also a very, very good right back. Bissaka's done well in his last 3 games. Got to give him a lot of credit. You know, did very, very well against Chelsea. Made some good tackles. Stopped the likes of Werner, Pulisic from cutting in on that right flank. Did well against PSG. Also did well against Newcastle. Scored his first goal for Manchester United against Newcastle, and that was his 50th appearance. Prior to the 3 games, though, you know, he didn't have a great start to the season, did he? This is Wan-Bissaka's 2nd season at the football club. Harry Maguire, he's looked better recently, to be fair, but not world class as yet. Maguire wasn't too bad against Chelsea, you know, apart from nearly giving a penalty away for pulling down Azpilicueta. He made some good blocks and that. He was good in the Newcastle game as well, was Harry Maguire. Got his name on the score sheet. He obviously had early season troubles. You know, he had that incident in Greece the other month. He got sent off in England's 1-0 defeat to Denmark. He also sustained an injury. Harry Maguire is obviously our captain. There's been a lot of Manchester United fans saying that we should take the captaincy off him. You know. But this is his second season at Manchester United. We got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester last summer. Well, summer of 2019, obviously. Luke Shaw, I think he's a pretty good player. I think, some people think he looks more effective as a left centre half. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw, he is injury prone. But prior to that, he's done very, very well under the Solsjaer era. Odion Ighalo, don't really have much of a perception on him now because Odion Ighalo doesn't get starts, does he? We got Odion Ighalo on deadline day in January as a cover-up to Marcus Rashford. To be fair to Ighalo, was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. Just after the first lockdown, we extended his loan until January 2021. So he'll leave when his loan expires, won't he? But yeah, got a lot of good players in our team, haven't we? There's also players at Manchester United that are not good enough because, like I said, these still deadwood in the squad. But I think Solskjaer needs to go with 3 at the back. That formation suits our standards, I think. The 4-2-3-1 formation doesn't really seem to suit our standards. He's been going a lot with that formation though since he got appointed as Man United manager. A few times he has gone with that 4-3-3 formation. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.